Hello, everybody! What a game! And welcome to the PHLY Eagles postgame show live from the Xfinity Lounge and presented by Bet365 and Ashley. The Eagles, a game-winning two-point conversion stand. The defense absolutely ferocious and making up for the Eagles offense, having one first down on 5 possessions in the second half. We'll get to that. We will get to all the huge plays, a game-winning extra point block by Jalen Carter. We'll get to all of that. We'll hear from Fran Duffy to break down the X's and O's. We'll hear from E.J. Smith live in Buffalo from the locker room after talking to the players. But we start by going around the horn with Jamie Lynch, and we start with Super Bowl champion Vinny Curry, who is back. Vinny, what were your takeaways from that impressive performance?
Defense looked ready. We look ready.
Super Bowl ready.
That's what you call December football, meaning football. Listen, we look ready. What was 5 sacks? I mean, it was some hard hitting out there. Them boys just flying around. The energy, listen, the energy never left the sideline. Never left the sideline. That's what you call Philadelphia Eagle football, especially championship playing defense right there. Like, the energy never left the sideline.
I like that. Jamie, how about you?
What he said, Kevin Patullo in this offense in the second half, I don't want to start negative, but like that should not have been a sweat. To put that on the defense entirely and to say, hey, Vic and defensive line, can you bail me out again? I mean, the game was kind of, I don't want to say meaningless because it was a litmus test before the playoffs here. But man, I was on a high at halftime. Jalen Hurts was playing awesome football.
Jalen played very well in the first
A.J.
half.
was playing great. Saquon was running, and then full break second half, 17 plays, 17 yards. Was that the final for the second half? To put that on the defense and make that as tough as it was is a bad look.
Well, and you could tell the actual effects of it.
Sure, they were gassed.
The defense was gassed. And not just were the players on the field gassed, but it also meant that they had to rotate more. I mean, there was the first Bills touchdown drive. Most of their success on that drive comes when Jalen Carter and Jordan Davis are off the field, right. And it's Byron Young and Moro Ojimo in the middle, and you can run on that group. You can't run on the other group, and so those effects were real in the second half. But we'll get to the complaining. You know, sure. I like to complain.
The defense is unreal.
But what an impressive performance. And if you just take the totality of it, for them to go into Buffalo, a team that was motivated to go try to chase a division title and potentially the number 1 seed, and to go in there and really just beat them up and look like absolutely the tougher and more physical, better team in the first 3.5 quarters of this game. A super impressive performance for the Eagles. And the way that this sets up now is that if the Bears beat the Niners tonight on Sunday Night Football, the Eagles will be fully locked in to the number 3 seed. They cannot move from that. They have already clinched no worse than the 3 seed. If the Bears lose out, they've got the Niners tonight, and then if they lose that game, they've got, either way, they've got the Lions next week. If the Bears lose out and the Eagles win out, they can get the 2 seed. But barring that, the Eagles will be the 3 seed. And I feel like after this performance, if they end up resting guys next week, you can feel like this team is ready to give a real good shot at defending its title.
What my man be saying, here comes the boom. That's how
here's one of those guys, the Costco guys.
Yo, let me tell you, that's how I felt watching this game.
Bring the boom to you.
Bring the boom to you. I'm telling you, I feel like, man, them guys are flying around. I'm just so happy for them, man. And to see our boy JC back, making plays, the way he impacted this game.
I mean, if he doesn't block that extra point, they kick one to win the game.
Yeah, if it's not for Jalen Carter, and he blocked a kick last time they beat the Bills at the Link.
Yes.
Jalen Carter to have him back, even on that one play that he batted down there towards the end, I mean, the sack, he dominated today. Really good to have him back. Glad those shots in the shoulders worked.
All right, let's get to your reactions right away. Let's get to the Super Chats off the bat here after an impressive Eagles win. We start with Kyle Rem, who says, I love how Patullo, Frazier, and Nick act like 4-year-olds when a Leffler play call works in the first half, then call plays like 4-year-olds in the second half. we don't know exactly how those calls get broken down.
Do you buy the Leffler influence on the offense?
Well, the red zone, that the idea is that potentially he's in charge of the red zone. We don't have that verified. I can't.
But your gut. Do you have a gut? The improved running game the last 3-4 weeks.
I don't think Leffler has anything to do with the improved running game. No. And also the running game where it just disappeared in the second half. And I also you cannot just take the offensive line off the hook. I mean, some of the stuff that was blown up today is just guys missing blocks.
Yeah.
So we'll get to all of that. Epion Zero says Turtle Nick doesn't deserve this defense. It only emboldens his cowardice. I thought we were going to get people a little bit happier today. Reverma, so many runs for negative yards. We can look into the stats there as well. Mikey Faze, the only stat that matters is WRL. This is a dub. Let's party. Q winning. Doesn't feel like AJ and Smitty aren't catching the 50-50s like they used to.
It was raining out there.
There was one that was overturned that I thought should have been a catch and shouldn't have been overturned on the crazy Devontae catch. There's the one where AJ drops it with one hand, but it's probably pass interference. And then there's the one at the end where Devontae got his hands on it and maybe could have caught it. But
on two people.
On two people. Yeah, exactly right. Pat Phoenix, our friend, says, it's clear that Sirianni has not learned a single lesson. He really thinks this turtle offense is the right way to do this. I mean, truly, the first 3 possessions of the second half for the Eagles were insane. They ran off like 15 seconds of clock or something crazy like that. It was wild.
The one play that turned me into the Joker was the coward straw on 2nd and 10.
I totally agree. The final offensive possession,
you knew
2nd and 13.
2nd and 13. 2nd
and 13. Go get a first. You have already ruined the second half of the defense. You have put so many miles on them. And it's they have so little faith in the possibility of getting a first down that they would rather just take the 40 seconds of a bad run, but at least we're going to run some clock off. That was a maddening play call.
Yeah, find Dallas Goedert over the middle. Find A.J. Brown. Come on, that's not acceptable.
Eric B. Meyer, the defense played exceptionally well, but Braden Mann was the game MVP.
He was awesome.
I like that.
Braden Mann,
that punt was crazy. It's insane.
And a couple ones that just barely didn't get blocked.
We cannot let EJ off the hook later.
EJ's he needs to show up.
Seat.
He needs to show up for the post-game hit with a paper bag over his head after Cameron Latu.
Y'all see his tweet. Nobody called me or text me. Nobody called me or text me.
But Braden Mann did have an awesome game.
He did. Ronnie Mexico. Go Birds. Shout out to my in-laws, Errol and Jackie, who were watching the post-game show. Happy Hanukkah, baby! Errol and Jackie, what's up? Shout out.
Like and subscribe, Errol and Jackie. Let's
Hit
go.
The like button. Become a Supporters Club member. We're going to keep asking for more. Kenneth Bush with just a nice donation super chat. And D. Mormack says, do you think when the opposing offensive coordinator is a young guy, someone slips a headshot of him into Vic's newspaper that week and he just locks in a little bit more? I do think that Vic relishes the opportunity to go up against the hotshot young guy.
Yeah. Vic Fangio for president. I love that, man.
I mean, we have said this before. We will say it again. There is nobody with a higher approval rating in Philadelphia than Vic Fangio.
No. Maybe Quinyon, maybe Cooper.
No, there's nobody.
Yeah, you might be right.
Tokugawa, great defense. I'm not a ref guy, but those refs were atrocious.
That was terrible today.
There were
you want to go through them?
There were a handful of really bad calls.
So there's Jalen out of bounds, which we never saw the replay.
We never saw a replay of.
Thank you, Fox.
Still mad about it.
Clearly a late hit.
And I thought that did deserve a flag.
There was AJ's pass interference down by the goal line.
Definitely deserved a flag.
AJ needs to fight for that a little bit more. He needs to do the diva wide receiver thing and cry a little bit. There was Quinyon's pass interference, which was ticky-tack.
Ticky-tack. I would have not thrown a flag, but his hand was inside the jersey.
Yeah,
A little
and
bit
then
ticky-tack.
what was the other one? It was the catch overturn, overturning Devontae Smith's catch.
Yeah, that was bad.
That was pathetic.
Now I will say, Nick should have thrown a flag on the catch by Tyrell Shavers.
Absolutely.
Down the field. We got a replay, and it looked like it probably hit the ground.
Had he
he's
played
got
by
to throw that flag.
Josh Allen getting that playoff right away.
Yes,
that was smart.
And I mean, come on, you can tell when
a team is trying to get it off, they're not so
flag,
sure.
man. Yeah. Corey Cito, hypocrite Bills ran the dangerous tush push with an injured quarterback. Ban the play. He's right. Now, of course, the Bills voted to ban the tush push.
They ran it twice today. It looked like feel like
They did.
Yeah, they did.
For a touchdown, and then
try to call it a snow plow.
unbelievable. We didn't talk about the fourth down stop in the red zone before the Bills scored.
That was awesome.
It's a hell of a defensive play.
Zack Baun with a hell of
making
a tackle, not falling for the 6th Josh Allen pump fake.
Vinny, do you feel like I've asked you this before, and I know when you win, you wouldn't feel this way probably, but in a game like that, in the second half, when the defense is playing as well as it is playing against one of the best offenses in football, and the offense can't just stay on the field for like 3 minutes, how do you avoid feeling like, come on, man, like feeling a little bit antagonistic with the offense?
The way that they brung the boom, and the way the energy was, you don't kind of think of it like that. You know, I just feel like guys were just flying around. But you would like to see some scores out of that, you know, that way you gotta get the opposing team in passing situations so you can pin your ears back.
Yeah. That's true. Yeah, I mean, truly the offense let the defense down in the second half. But
it just looked like they wasn't running the same plays. Everything just looked totally different. And I kept trying to ask, like, maybe it's the weather conditions because, you know, they were saying, oh, the rain should get ready to stop. I'm like, it just
blame it on the rain. Yeah.
Brady wouldn't shut the hell up about gloves.
Brady didn't give my man Jalen Hurts not one compliment.
No, he was glazing up Josh Allen all game.
Well,
there wasn't anything in the second half. He played phenomenal in the first half.
Yeah, but he still didn't say anything.
He's not a white guy. He's not gonna like him. It's classic Brady. Come on.
You know,
he's the one who ordered them not to show a replay of the hit on the sideline.
But even the drive and the guy the touchdown, he was more excited about a Brandon Cooks catch.
Yeah, you're right.
Then I'm like, yo, bro, come on, man. Yo, listen, we know you the GOAT, but let's call this thing fair now.
Yeah, I know we interpret this through Eagles, goggles, but like that did seem like a biased broadcast today.
Yeah.
Okay, let's. I'm going to take you through the 5 second half possessions for the Eagles offense.
Oh God.
Okay, first possession after the defense forces a 3-and-out to open the second half. They go 1st and 10, Saquon up the middle for 5 yards. 2nd and 5. Oh, hold on. Do I have this right? Yes. 2nd and 5, Saquon up the middle for 10 yards. So they get a first down on the second play of the second half. And then they will not get one the rest of the time. So then it goes 1st and 10, Jalen incomplete to Goddard. 2nd and 10, Saquon for -2. And then Jalen Hurts throws the ball away on 3rd and 12. Next possession. From the 16, Jalen incomplete to A.J. Brown. Then the one to Devontae, which gets overturned. Which
was ridiculous.
Which should not have been overturned, I think. But that would have at least got them another first down.
Whoever overturned that never played football in their life. That's a catch.
And then 3rd and 10, Jalen throws the ball away again. Third possession, Jalen scrambles for 2 yards. 2nd and 8, Saquon up the middle for 2 yards. 3rd and 6, Jalen is sacked. Okay, there goes that possession. Fourth possession, Saquon up the middle on 1st and 10 for 3 yards. Saquon for 1 yard. 3rd and 6, Jalen throws the ball away. Okay, final possession, Saquon for -3. Then this is the one that we really hate. 2nd and 13, they do the coward's draw for 1 yard. And then 3rd and 12, Jalen throws it downfield and Devontae has a chance and doesn't catch it. That's it. That's all they had in the second half. It's brutal.
Yeah, it was pathetic.
I feel like they were just playing not to lose.
Yes.
Second half.
I think they often do that. Yeah.
How about listen, when they started taking a sweet old time the play clock. I kept looking at Bo. I kept looking at Bo.
every
He
play
hates
is,
that.
yeah.
You hate that.
I do. When they're not doing it on purpose, you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah, I just don't get why Nick thinks this is okay.
because
Like,
they keep winning.
I know, but like you're playing with fire.
Right.
Like eventually you have to stomp on somebody's neck and finish them. You can't just. It's like a cat.
Where's the
just like-
dagger? You know,
Yeah.
Go throw the dagger.
Where's that guy?
Alex Lauderbeck. Who is beating the Eagles in the NFC? Let's run through this.
I like this.
So here you go. Most likely, the Eagles are going to be the 3 seed.
San Fran, most likely.
I think it is most likely to be San Francisco. Could still be the Rams, and that's it. It can't be the Seahawks yet because they won today. So I think if the Niners win out, they'll get the 1 seed, and then the Rams will be the 6. So either way, let's say San Francisco comes here as the 6 seed. The Eagles are the 3. Who do you got?
I got us.
Jamie?
I think the first round's tougher than the second round. I would take them, but the Niners do scare me a little bit. They're playing pretty good football right now. I got the Birds.
Okay. Now, second round, you would be looking at either a trip to Chicago or potentially like a home game against the Rams if Chicago lost.
I think that's a hard one. I think
Who scares you the most? Let's put it that
think
way.
the Rams
The
do.
Rams scare you the
I
most?
think the Rams do by experience wise.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
Chicago is playing well, and I'm gonna tell you why the Niners don't scare me.
Oh, yeah?
I just feel like the defense is bringing them boom. And I'm just being honest with you. What we saw today, if they play like that against the Niners, he's not sitting back in no pocket just picking us apart. It's just not happening.
Yeah, I mean, listen, the way that the defense played today, I don't know who's scoring on them, but
I fear the Rams more than the Bears for sure. So, I mean, if we go to Chicago, I think they beat them. I don't think the Bears are good enough to beat the Eagles twice in 1 year.
and if I sell you on Lane is gonna rest and he is gonna be back for the playoffs.
Oh,
It does change the offensive line.
Absolutely.
Maybe that alone makes
So I
you
was
feel
very
better.
excited. You know, I don't want to get my hopes up because I'll be start talking like, well, you are. You know what I mean?
You're gonna book your flight to San Francisco.
Man, yeah.
Brandon Ekstrom, for the love of all good, fire Sirianni now. So far into the sun that I forget him. There is no reason for his run turtling when you're barely ahead. He is the reason for the offense's cowardice. I really did. I really thought we were going to have a more positive chat today, but that's okay. Matt Webster, Jalyx Hunt. What a game.
Beast.
Long-term status with the Birds. And he's only in his second year on a 4-year rookie contract, so they don't have to worry about that just yet. But I totally agree. Jalyx Hunt was awesome in this game, all over Josh Allen. Finished with 2 sacks for a combined 29 yards. Had that 17-yard sack, I think, the first one. He was awesome. All over the place.
Well, he leads the team with 6.5, right?
I think maybe he and Morrow are now tied because Morrow got one today as well.
Oh, okay.
I'll look it up during a break. Michael Kurtz.
What do you say, Michael?
Another bad win for Philadelphia. We went into Buffalo and won in horizontal rain. This is what the 10th best passing offense looks like when paired with a poo-poo run game. Relax and enjoy the ride.
I did say I filled in for Anthony on Friday. Eagles fans we've reached our spoiled phase.
Oh, for sure.
We are completely spoiled. I mean, to think that like Devontae, A.J., and Saquon are having quote-unquote down years and all going to go over 1,000 yards. Well, Devontae, we'll see if he plays. To like, what are they're going to...
There haven't been an Eagle receiver in history that had 4 years of straight 1,000 yards. So, toast to that.
They won the division for the first time in back-to-back years in 21 seasons or whatever. They have they're the reigning world champions. They're going to end up with what, 13 wins in all likelihood? 12?
No, they're at 11 right now, 11 and 5.
Okay, so maybe 12. Not every game is like, I think people now expect perfection, which is just not realistic.
Yeah, I think there is something to that, but I think there is also something to you are grading on expectations.
Sure.
And that's not even expectations, but like reasonable expectations given the roster.
Sure.
Right?
And I also think Eagle fans, like, if you go back from week 1 to right now, we didn't just flat out get our ass whooped the whole season. It was games like, man, it was games like
I think
that.
the Bears game, you could argue they got their ass whooped.
Yeah, physically they got beat up a little bit in that one, but that's about it.
Yeah, okay,
Today
so that's almost close to perfection. I'll take 99%.
Maybe the Giants
Maybe
game.
that Giants game. Maybe
They
that
got their
Giants
ass
game
whooped.
too. Yeah, that was the triple header bad night.
What's that? That was the
short
first
week.
time.
The third.
Thursday night.
Don't joke.
That
I feel
doesn't
like they didn't
count.
even show up.
Thursday night football doesn't count. That's fake.
They didn't even show up. I think everybody just stayed in Philly and it was like, we're going to.
I think you're probably right. But they did get their ass whooped.
They beat the hell out of the Bills today. That's the part I feel best about.
Yeah, the defense is
how
absolutely-
nasty.
And that's
they
before
are.
they made these couple switches around in that secondary. They made some tweaks.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
And I'll tell you
Before
what,
the
shout
trades.
out to Marcus Epps.
I thought he had a good
By the
game.
way-
Yeah, yes, he did.
Now listen, Brandon Cooks mosses him down the field. Awesome catch over Marcus
It
Epps.
was
And I
an
think he
awesome
also
catch.
might have been responsible for the first long completion to Brandon Cooks. But just the fact that they have someone there who is not like a total obvious weak link, and he's making plays coming downfield. I think he has done a lot to turn them from a very good defense to a great defense.
Right.
Yeah, absolutely. It's funny that super chat it kind of hit like a vein of mine. It's like, yeah, we're completely in our spoiled rotten phase.
Nathan Ryan, good day from Sydney, Australia.
Hey, Sydney.
Finally got to watch the post game. I lost it. I felt like I had a good one in the first sentence, but then I lost it. Finally got to watch the post game show live. Just had a near death experience with that game. Shout out to my kids, Tom and Will.
What up, Tom
and
and
Will?
Will?
Hey, Tom and Will. All right.
Love Australia.
Scotty Galupo. Galoops.
Galoops.
Feel like I should look this up myself, but throwing this out there anyway. Has anyone beaten more playoff teams than the Eagles this season?
Ooh.
Oh, I
That's an
love it.
interesting one.
What was up there for one of the hardest schedules of the season before the season
No
started?
doubt about
Yeah,
it.
they were.
Yes.
How you like this now? We both know. All right.
We bring the
Boom! I'm telling you.
Brendan Martin. We need Matt Canada. He is the future. Aaron D. Bo, you were right. The offense still sucks. I bet. I don't know if I said that, but second half was not very good. D&B mix. The O needed leather gloves in the second half. You've been listening to Brady too much.
What he gets on these weird tangents.
What
where
did you
he's
feel like about the one glove thing?
Very weird.
Impossible not to read it as an O.J. Simpson tribute. He's in Buffalo. Of course, that's how we're going to think about it.
Yes,
Oh,
everybody
my God.
universally.
We're all
had it.
thinking it.
I thought he was just
From
standing
one
with EJ.
serial killer to another. Like,
Brady could be a serial killer. I could see that.
yeah, I mean, the guy is.
Dude, Brady probably could get away with a lot of
Completely lost
stuff. I
his
mean, you
mind.
gonna lock Tom Brady up? No, I don't think so.
Cash Squatch. Offense was terrible. Refs were arguably worse.
They were bad.
Refs were bad. Brendan Martin. Fun drinking game idea. Take a shot of Everclear every time we run the ball on third and medium or long.
The coward's draws with Will Shipley is just pathetic.
Earl Ignacio. If you made a season-long compilation of Cam Jurgens lowlights, how long do you think the video would be?
9.5 minutes.
That is Pro Bowler Cam Jurgens that you're talking about,
Please
Earl.
put some respect on his name.
Put some respect on his name. But I understand where you're coming from.
Oh yeah, you got the wonky arm.
Yeah,
Vinny.
you got the limp one.
Listen, it's all right. It's all right.
Tokugawa. And then we'll send it to break after this and regroup and bring in our friend Fran Duffy. They're going to pull out the dagger in the NFC Championship game and Super Bowl, and we'll be happy until next season when we complain about our new offensive coordinator.
Well, but you look
I think all Eagles fans would take that.
Think they're holding the good stuff for the playoffs?
No. But if you want to be realistic, what could they be saving for the playoffs? More Jalen Hurts involvement in the running game. Him being more willing to scramble, having Lane Johnson on the field. Those like little tweaks would alone have potentially made the difference in this game being close or not.
Yeah.
I agree.
That could be enough. All right. Let's take our first break here on the PHLY Eagles post-game show. On the other side, we hit up the Duff Man to find out what he thinks about everything he saw today and more. Bet365 has 90 million users worldwide, and they live stream over 780,000 events each year with early payout offers across the NBA and NHL. And tonight, Sunday Night Football, you can place a $10 bet on the first touchdown score and get a split of a $365,000 bonus jackpot in the bonus bets if your player scores that final touchdown of the game. So you can win both ways. Bet365 always working for you, and that's why it's never ordinary at Bet365. Breaking news, new customers now get $150 in bonus bets when your bet wins or loses and you bet $5. Sign up. Use the code PHLY365, deposit $10 and place a bet for $5 to get $150 in bonus bets if your bet wins or loses. Bonus bets can be used on the spread, totals, player props, futures, and more, whatever you... The moment, it's never ordinary. At Bet365, must be 21 or older and physically located in Pennsylvania. If you or somebody who has a game problem, call What's Up, call 1-800-GAMBLER.
The other day, my friend Josh Allen, his fiance, wife, Haley Steinfeld, they invited me over to their place. They wanted to watch the big game. I got there. It was a total disaster. Lagging, buffering, switching between apps. I felt like I was fan-fished. And that's why you need Xfinity. If you call yourself a football fan, you got to have Xfinity. It's the ultimate sports destination. I can find the best games right there with my favorite teams all in one place. It's next level. And it's the perfect fan flex. You get all the action right there in your living room with live stats and updates. It feels like you're in the stadium with enhanced 4K sound and view. It feels like you're in the game. And sometimes you get 4 games going on at once. And on top of that, you get those real-time notifications. So the next game day, make sure that big fan, Josh, isn't a big fail. Go to Xfinity.com. Xfinity, imagine that. Restrictions apply. Multi-view requires Xfinity 4K capable TV box.
Back on the PHLY Eagles post-game show, and it's time now to bring in the tape donkey, the tape maven himself. Our great Fran Duffy, courtesy of Ashley Home Furniture, Fran's Film Cave. Fran, how you doing?
Not sure about the tape donkey.
Dominic the donkey. Hee-haw, hee-haw. How you doing?
Look, I mean, a classic Christmas song, but I don't know if I can get on board with that nickname. We'll have to keep working.
I'll keep going. I'll keep on the drawing board.
What's worse, Grabby Grabs or Film Donkey?
Tape Muncher?
Grabby Grabs is worse.
See? So it's not that bad.
How about, like, what's a famously voracious animal?
The honey badger.
Tape badger?
Yeah,
tape
but I feel like
not
that's
bad.
Overused at this point. I got nothing.
Tape
I got
male
nothing.
has worse connotations to it, I feel like. So let's not go there. You don't want to be Brendan Fraser, you know.
No, that.
Certainly not. All right, anyway, let's get to your thoughts here, friend. Before we get to the snappies, and I know we're going to break down some big sacks. I mean, just the defensive. I said sacks. I said sacks. You could take that another way if you want to. It doesn't. Big sex doesn't even make sense.
Peace.
Watch some elephant porn. That's not what we're doing.
Off to a roaring start here.
How good did you feel like that defensive performance was? Did you feel like you were watching a Super Bowl caliber defense out there?
Yeah, I mean, I was thinking it through the most of the second half was that this defense is Super Bowl caliber, and you have to feel that way going into the playoffs. Like that's what you're hanging your hat on with this team and how far they can go. They're going to go as far as this defense is going to carry them. Now we know what this offense is capable of. We know what that talent is capable of and how that can elevate them in certain games. But there's no question if you're going to push your chips in on one side of the ball. I mean, this defense is humming right now. What they did to this Bills offense, obviously, look, they were down one of their most reliable pass catchers in Dalton Kincaid. You're dealing with the elements, but both sides were dealing with it. And to me, like, this was an offense where you knew, like, they're going to come in, they're going to try and grind it out, they're going to try and assert themselves on the ground. And the Eagles just shut the door on everything that they had to offer. They were able to hit on a couple explosives down the field. But to me, just an outstanding performance from this defense. And the defensive front in particular really, really stood out in this game.
I want to get to the front, but quickly, someone else who stood out to me live, and I'm sure you will look at this when we actually
can I guess?
22. Sure.
Jalyx Hunt.
No, because we'll get to him. But without Nakobe Dean, which was like, okay, let's see what Jihaad Campbell's going to do. Man, he was flying around. And there were some plays where, like, you see him in the run game, like, just shedding the block and then making the tackle. I thought it was very impressive given everything that he has been through, having to just watch for the past 5 weeks.
Yeah, there were a couple flashes last week where I'm like, okay, like, the positivity in the notes as I'm going through and watching the tape, but it felt like I was writing his name down often tonight, just going through this game live. I'm excited to watch him tomorrow and really kind of take him in detail, but whether it was pass game, run game, I thought he showed up. And it was interesting. Daniz pointed this out on social media and was texting me during the game. He tracks it, looking at like the personnel groupings. For the first time, we saw them go with a penny package with 5 down linemen, just one linebacker on the field, and 5 DBs.
I know this,
and what
yes.
they did was they took Jihaad Campbell off the field in those instances and put Brandon Graham out on the field to rush from the interior. And I think that makes a lot of sense. And I wonder if that's something that they will lean into moving forward as well in some of these designed passing downs, the definite passing downs. But to me, Jihaad Campbell continues to flash. I thought we saw some really good things from the rookie in this game.
And by the way, you just saw the pure speed on probably the biggest play of the game when he recovers that fumble. I guess outrunning Osiris Torrance is not the biggest thing in his cap, but still an awesome play. And also, you see guys mess up that recovery a lot. So that was a huge play. Okay, let's get to the front. And we already talked about Jalyx Hunt, but this is where you want to start here on the first sack that he has. And boy, was he a menace in this game.
Yeah, he really continues to shine. And I think with him, you're talking about his combination of length and explosiveness. He's still coming along in terms of like his nuance as a rusher and, their overall pass rush plan, all of that. And that's continuing to evolve. But when you talk about his combination of length and movement, he makes him a very difficult guy to block, especially when you're talking about his impact on stunts, especially as a looper on those stunts. And this was a great example here. Lindsay, let's go to the first one. It's going to be Hunt 1, where you're going to take a look at him. This is just a straight 4-man rush from the Eagles, where you've got 4 down linemen. They're not trying to disguise anything here. They're not trying to, feign pressure at all. This is a straight 4-man rush on 3rd and long. And if you go to the next shot here, you're going to see that basically they're off the center slide. That's the side that's going to go in. It's going to be the opposite side from the center because you've got double stunts on this play where the Eagles on both sides of the line, you're running what is called a TE stunt where the tackle is going to knife up field and the ends are going to loop inside off of that initial movement from the interior rusher. So with the center, and you could see him kind of turning towards Jalen Carter. It's obviously great to have number 98 back in the lineup. He had a nice clean win for a sack against Torrance later in this game, but he's sliding towards Jalen Carter. Well, now all right, if you're the guys on the opposite side of that slide, it's 2 versus 2, and it's basically like pick and roll for basketball, where you're going to play off of that initial movement. And what I love here is the first step explosiveness from Moro Ojomo. If we go to the next shot here, Lindsay, you're going to see Ojomo's going to fly off the ball, and because he's so fast out of his stance, these offensive linemen, one of the things that you don't want as a group, as a tandem, when you're trying to pass these stunts off, you want to be basically like in lockstep. You want to be hip to hip. You want to be what is called on the same level. And when you are not on the same level, it becomes really hard to be able to pass these stunts off effectively. And so if you go to the next shot, you're going to see, again, you're going to get Ojomo working upfield, with Jalyx working across and back in towards the interior. He's going to loop towards the inside. And Lindsay, if you go to the next shot here, you can see how these offensive linemen now, they are off level. That left guard, he's parallel to the sideline. You aren't blocking anybody when you give up that level of penetration there. So Ojomo flies upfield, and now that just creates such a wide open path for Jalyx Hunt, who again is looping across. Dawkins has no shot here. That's not going to be on him to try and see if he can block Jalyx Hunt. He's got no chance at making this block on 58. So Jalyx has a clean shot at Josh Allen, and he's able to get home for the sack. So I want to ask you this, Vinny. What is the hit rate for defensive line? You're lining up, it's 3rd and long, and because typically you're picking up on the on the line calls, protection calls as the game's going on. At what point do you know, like, all right, we're dialed in. We know which side, the center is typically sliding to. And what is that feeling when you know, like, all right, like, this is going to be me? Because you guys were so good at running these stunts throughout your career as well.
Right. I would say that the percentage get higher probably around the third. I would say with your third position of being back out the third series. Yep. You show everybody's because now everybody's on the communication. This is one of those, if you see something, say something. You know what I mean? So just the way you can see, like, even in this game, as the game kept going on, they was in rhythm. There was nothing they can do. So I would say that about the third series.
How are they supposed to block that up, Fran? Just switch it off?
Yeah, ideally you're able to switch that off, but when you are, that's why like when you are off level.
Yeah.
So like literally, if you're thinking about this, like all right, this is Dawkins and this is and this is the guard Edwards. If Edwards comes down here and now all of a sudden like you're not able to pass this off here, right? Like you are so far off kilter that now you have so much room for that looper to be able to come inside. That's too much ground for Dawkins to be able to cover. So you're not going to be able to switch that off. Like there are very few tackles that are able to execute that. So ideally you're able to pass that off and you say, all right, like you've got Ojomo and I'll pick up Hunt. But when you give up that initial penetration to Ojomo, like you have no shot as an offensive line.
And Vinny, we've talked about this before, but that was often your role was to be the dirty work guy to help clear it up for somebody else.
You gotta love it. You gotta love it. You know, you gotta love it. Because listen, when the D line is successful, we don't just talk about one individual here. We talk about all of them. You know, when we do Vinny Curry's beef for the week.
Yeah,
we usually talk about everybody, you know. So that's the beauty of it, man. Especially playing this late in December, getting ready, you know, as we get ready to go into the playoffs and this and the way the D-line is playing, you're going to be mentioned. You know, we talk about the whole group here, so we love it.
Yeah, I mean, listen, it is.
And too, there are going to be instances as well. And Vinny, I can remember like a couple of plays like this for you throughout your career where you are the pinner, like you are the penetrator, the first guy that goes through. But if the offense reads that and they do pass it off well, now you're the guy getting him clean because they're passing you off to the tackle. But now the tackle doesn't get you in time, and now you're home free to the quarterback. So you never know when that's going to pop up either.
Yeah, I mean, listen, it is right now a defensive line that can win individual matchups with Jalen Carter and sometimes Jalen Phillips. Although Jalen Phillips, I will say, has done that a little bit less recently, but more Ojimo and Jalyx. But also they work very well together, and so there are lots of ways for them to win as a group, as pass rushers.
No question. Yeah, it's a really good group, especially when you then factor in the fact that the secondary and the back seven is humming the way that they are, like in terms of like the pass offs and zone coverage, and we'll get to that here in a little bit. But when you've got both ends of the defense starting to hold up their end of the bargain like that, those pressure numbers are going to continue to mount. And this was a great example of it in this game.
Fran, before we get to the next play, the Cooper DeJean, it was a fumble that didn't end up counting.
What an awesome play!
Why don't more guys do that?
Oh, it was such a good play. I was
so
literally sitting
heady.
there with Francis. I was like, yelling. I'm like, dude, what a great play. And he's like, what?
Such a good play.
What a smart player.
Unbelievable play. It's a shame that it got overturned, but to me, like incredible heads up play to take out the Bill that was going to potentially jump on the football. Outstanding play by DeJean.
Yeah, so smart. Blew me away.
All right, let's get to the fumble that the Eagles did recover, which was courtesy of Jalen Phillips and Jihaad Campbell. What did you see on that one?
Yeah, I mean, this one is a really good example of the coverage with the rush kind of working together there, where you're going to get a good example of, those guys kind of working in concert. Because on this play, and on this one, Lindsay, this is fumble one. So if you see this play initially, the first read is off play action, off under center play action. Josh Allen wants to go to the flat. So you got a tight end working in the flat. That's the first read here on this play. But he gets his eyes off that pretty quickly. It's second and short. So he's like, all right, I could take a chance here down the field. It's kind of like it's the inverse of running on third and long and having the coward's draw. Like, hey, second and long or second and short, we can afford to take a risk down the field because we know we've got third and short if there's an incomplete pass. So he's got his eyes downfield here. So once that play is taken away, what he really wants is the receiver that is releasing inside the formation. So, Lindsay, if you go to the next shot here, you're going to see that Shakir, he's going to work inside the tight end there, and DeJean is going to pick him up. So he's going to work through the muck here to the wide receiver, get up to the second level. But DeJean does an outstanding job, if you go to the next shot, of impacting the receiver within three. You can see it very clearly here. He's within 3 yards, within 2 yards here of the line of scrimmage. So he's perfectly fine on this play, especially as the quarterback is breaking the pocket. He's not going to get flagged on this play. So he really affects the timing of this for Josh Allen. That's going to be the receiver that he's ultimately trying to get this ball to. But as Josh Allen now starts to break the pocket, we'll go to the next shot. The first guy that's going to try and impact him is going to be Jalen Carter. And obviously we can't show it here at a screen grab, but the explosiveness that Carter shows here, playing through contact and surging into the backfield, he forces Allen to hold on to the ball a little bit longer. So Allen now further has to extend. So he's got to extend and he keeps rolling. Let's go to the next shot. And now you've got Jalen Phillips doing the same thing. You see Allen pointing downfield. He's trying to get back on the same page as Shakir, who again, DeJean is locking up on the back end. I'm excited to see this from the All-22 later, but he's trying to get back on the same page as Shakir. And you could see like, all right, now here comes Phillips. And now Phillips comes flying in. And we know, all right, Phillips ends up knocking this ball and it becomes a sack fumble. Take note, and Bo, you did a great job pointing this out earlier, Jihaad Campbell. Jihaad Campbell's right on the blue line here, right on the right hash. So that's where he is at the starting point. The ball has not been knocked out on the ground. Lindsay, if you go to the next shot, you can see right at the point of the sack, Jihaad Campbell's like, he's like, all right, big play, sack. He slows up, which is fine. He's slowing up. Jordan Davis is slowing up. Those guys were chasing out to the perimeter. It's a sack, big play here. But now the ball's out. And this was just unbelievable from Jihaad Campbell. We go to the next shot here, and he goes full sprint, and he takes one peek. And once he sees, I'm just racing against the big guys here, he knows he's got it, and he just makes a beeline for this ball. It was just an outstanding effort. He'll get praise for that, certainly, in the meeting rooms here this week. If he had lost that foot race, I'm sure he would have been hearing it on the other end of it. Yeah. But outstanding job from Jihaad Campbell. But this was a team effort play. Like I said, I'm excited to see the coverage on the back end, but everybody doing their job within the first 3 to 4 seconds results in a huge play for the defense. 7 seconds into the play.
I gotta tell you, if I was a Bills fan, look, having Josh Allen as your quarterback is awesome. He makes some boneheaded decisions quite frequently. I'm not saying I wouldn't take the guy, but like, what the hell are you doing there?
If I was a Bills fan, somebody would have got put through the table.
Like pump fake, like
table in the table.
Oh yeah, I know.
Like pump fake and go down by like the crotch. Like, what are you doing? It's not being a hot dog.
We can get into like team
he's great.
Yeah, one of the best quarterbacks. He'll probably
you take it, but like
you got other sources of depression.
That sack that he took, like a lot of dumb plays.
Well, speaking of arguably dumb plays by Josh Allen, let's break down the big sack by Jalyx Hunt. That was like a 19-yard loss. What'd you see?
19-yard loss. Yeah, which ended up, at the end of the day, like
it's third down.
Obviously, they were upset by it, but kind of it was a bad sack to take. But in terms of like, I don't know what the win probability was in terms of
it's third down.
That
you actually can take a sack.
Yes.
You don't want to go out of field goal range necessarily, but
a 20
you don't want it to be a 19-yard loss. Yeah, exactly right. But let's go to the first one here, Lindsay. It's Allen 1, and the Eagles. Look, they're playing one of their bread and butter coverages. It's cover 6. And you're going to get basically cover 2 to the boundary side of the field. So you've got Quinyon Mitchell at the bottom of the screen, and you've got Reed Blankenship shadowed over him as a cover 2 safety. So it's basically like clouding the safety over Quinyon Mitchell on that side. And now you've got Marcus Epps and Adoree Jackson playing quarters to the top of the screen. So this is going to be straight zone coverage. You've got those 3. You have 3 defenders underneath, and DeJean, Baun, and Jihaad Campbell with a straight 4-man rush. Those guys, you can tell, we're kind of just making sure, all right, we're going to contain Josh Allen here on this play. It's empty. We want to make sure we don't let him out of the pocket here on this play. If we go to the next shot, Allen never looks to Quinyon Mitchell's side. He's like, all right, I'm not even looking that direction. I'm going to work the 3-man side here of this play. And what he's got, what I think he wants is the pivot route coming from Shakir, where he's going to work back towards the sideline. DeJean's all over that. So DeJean does a nice job of sitting on top of that route. Brady gave him praise for that in the replay here. You've got Brandon Cooks coming on the shallow cross. That's going to get picked up by both linebackers there, and Baun and Campbell. And then you've got the corner route from Dawson Knox. He's going to break, but he hits the hash mark and then immediately pivots and breaks vertically down the field. So I think he's kind of working that side where he's looking at Knox and then at Shakir, and it's going to be kind of a high-low read. But the coverage is just completely knocked out. I used Brady's illustration. If we go to the last one here, just because the circles were just, look, great, a Hall of Fame quarterback, maybe the best quarterback of all time.
Terrible
Not
circles.
the best artist. His circles in the telestrator still need a lot of work. But
That's
I
a
think when you're
G,
looking
I
at
see.
yeah, it was rough go with the telestrator. But that said, the coverage was locked down. He had nowhere to go with the football. He's trying to make a play. He had the check down like far underneath, but even then, like you had Quinyon Mitchell right there. You had Jihaad Campbell right there. To me, this is one he's trying to go and make a play. They're down by 2 scores, so he's hoping to extend. And then Jalyx Hunt. I mean, again, talking about his length and his explosiveness, he's able to get home and create a huge play.
But if they kick a field goal, they win easy.
First play from scrimmage of the Bears 49ers game is Brock Purdy throwing a pick 6 to TJ Edwards.
Oh, the best quarterback in football, Brock Purdy.
That's right.
As some San Francisco reporters will say.
Sorry.
And again, just a reminder, if the Bears win that game, Eagles are locked into the 3 seed no matter what. So would certainly rest their guys in week 18, we would think. It's funny because we've been talking about Eagles and Texans, the 2 best defenses in football. Just looking at the Bills' offensive performances this year, 2 stand out as their worst by far, and it is the Texans and the Eagles games. And actually, by the numbers, it's very similar. Their success rate against the Texans was just a touch lower. Same with EPA per drive. They scored 19 points in that game versus 12 in this game. And it like both of those 2 defenses really relished the challenge of going up against this Bills defense and show that well. I like. There are so many guys to shout out. Like Cooper DeJean was all over the place in this game. Yep. Jalen Carter getting back made a big difference. I actually wish that we saw more Jordan Davis than we did. It felt like his playing time did go down, and I think affected the run defense a couple times.
A lot of Byron Young.
Yeah, probably too much Byron Young.
Maybe they try to keep that price down.
But yeah, I mean it's an awesome defense. Then we can talk about the offense, Fran. So as you were watching the second half, what bothered you the most?
I mean, what bothered me the most is a tough question to answer. I will say, like, I felt good by the fact that they had the 3rd best success rate of the season against Washington last week. Like, that made me feel better because I was like, oh, well, they had a great performance against Washington last week. Like, all is right in the world.
Look at you, cherry picking.
In seriousness, I will say, to me, like, look, it's the same issues that we've talked about, and it's. We talked with Daniz on what was it? It was Tuesday, whatever it was. Right? Yeah, the Tuesday show. And when we talked about the different versions of this offense and both paths to take, right? Where it's like, oh, well, do they lean into becoming like under center play action shot play offense and like create big chunks, or do they basically become like, all right, hey, we're going to stay with what we've been, which is we're going to try and like operate, like be a half field read, like quick game offense. And then like the big plays come from scramble drill. To me, like I will take the volatility of the big chunk plays over the latter, even though like the latter has worked at, some in the past. To me, like, because the run game is not there. Again, like this is another example, like, offensive linemen losing point of attack, like tight ends. It's the same issues, the same things we've talked about all season long. Like Saquon individually looks really, really good, but the ecosystem around him is not great. I think they need to lean into being let's get chunk plays and be volatile that way, where it's like, hey, we're gonna try and hit post crosses like they saw in the first half. Like they hit on some designed shot plays. Mostly from under center. We'll go back and like chart every single play, in terms of like the ratios and things like that. But we saw a number of under center shots. The one big play to A.J. Brown was an under center shot play on a post route. Nice design, like where everything, the flow is going right, and yet A.J. coming left. It was well designed. To me, like that is the way I personally would lean, as opposed to going the opposite way. Because I feel like there is more volatility from a negative standpoint in saying, hey, you know what? Like we're gonna call it double slant, and like when I think, okay, here's a good example. Think back to the 2020 offense, which is the offense that has been most like connected to, right? In terms of like recent Eagles memory, in terms of the how often they go 3 and out, and like a lot of the issues we've seen. That offense, like you guys used to refer to it as the bog offense, right? Like it was dink and dunk, and everything was like, all right, we're just gonna chip away. This offense, the details are not good enough for them to chip away. This isn't like chip away offense. This isn't an offense that I feel good about saying stack 12 play drives, 14 play drives, 17 play drives, and they're going to be able to matriculate the ball down the field. This is a chunk play offense. This is a we want big plays to AJ, big plays to Devontae. So whatever puts you in position to better get those big plays, that's the path that I would want to take. And to me, like that's what we didn't see last week conceptually. I think first half, we saw that. I'm excited to go back into the film. And, look, I know like one of the drives started at the 1 yard line, and that's going to affect play calling, things like that. But yeah, I mean, what was it? It was what did we tweet out? It was like 17 plays in the second half for 17 yards. It was a bad performance offensively.
Fran, do your next gen stat, do they show? I just felt like every time they had a fullback back there, it was a 6 yard or more yard run. I'm curious to see, I mean, next time I see you, we can talk about it. But I'm just curious to see what is that stat.
Yeah, that's something I'll be interested to see, Vinny. And there were some times where it was Dallas Goedert back there, which was a little bit new. But then there was obviously Latu is the big one. We're like, all right, when Latu's on the field in the backfield, there were some where he would run like to the weak side where he's going to block someone on the backside, and then you had Saquon going right, or sometimes where he's the lead blocker in the hole for Saquon, and they were able to hit on a couple of those. So yeah, I'm interested to see what the numbers look like from that standpoint, but. Overall, I mean, it was again like there was that drive late and that's why I messaged EJ and I said like EJ, like what's the weather right now? Yeah. Like is it like raining right now? And he said no, like it's pretty mild. But that was the drive where they went run, and it was like 3rd and 8, and then they threw, and it was I think a scramble and a throwaway. It's like, man, like you needed at least one first down on that drive. Like at least they tried to get some kind of momentum, and they just could not get that done.
According to True Media, so 508 performances, like games this season on offense, just across the NFL. The Eagles' success rate in this game, 29.6%, 488th out of 508. So really one of the worst offensive performances of the season. And yet they come away with a win. They keep finding a way to do it.
And that's, at the end of the day, obviously that is what matters most, but it's not about getting wins. It's not about getting wins in November. It's not about getting wins in December. It's about getting wins in January and February. And so if Josh Allen, if they complete that pass for a 2-point conversion, I would imagine that the conversation is much more negative than what we're having right now.
Bo would have been going crazy on this one.
No honestly, I didn't feel that badly, even if they had lost that game.
But I'm saying, like, I agree with you, and I said I was explaining it to Meg. I was like, it doesn't matter. That's why they're going for 2, because at the end of the day, like, they both teams want to be healthy here, going into the postseason. But at the end of the day, like, they can't just be judging like, oh yeah, we won based off that individual play, that one outcome
based on
one play. Right?
Shakir is open, so Allen could make that throw, and if Jalen Carter doesn't block an extra point, they lose the game, right? And so. Don't pretend like the whole process was good just because we won the game.
France.
Yeah, it's one of those things where they're going to have to continue to try and figure this out. I've got one, just looking at the offense, I got one number from Next Gen Stats here. I have not read this all the way through, so I'm just gonna blurt this out. This is Jalen Hurts. So Jalen Hurts was sacked once, did not complete any of his 7 passes in the second half in the Eagles' Week 17 win over the Bills. This marks the second game this season in which Hurts did not complete a second half pass, and the Eagles emerged victorious, including their Week 4 win over the Bucs when Hurts went 0 for 8 in the second half. Entering Sunday night of Week 17, no other offense in the NFL has failed to complete a second half pass in a game this season, period. They've done it twice and won the game. Hurts faced 5 pressures on 8 dropbacks in the second half, matching the total number of pressures he faced across his first 21 dropbacks over the opening 2 quarters. That came while recording an average time to throw of 4.35 seconds in the second half, more than a full second longer than his 2.88 second mark in the first half. So, yeah, I'm interested to see what that looks like. We obviously, and I get why we didn't get a lot of great replays of what the pass game looked like in the second half, but certainly like a back to the drawing board type of situation there, when it comes to what that looked like in the final 2 quarters.
Fran, I just had one more for you. What's Jalen Carter's wingspan, and why is he the greatest kick blocker ever?
Yeah, I mean, I don't have the wingspan right in front of me, but he.
Oh, come on, man!
The first step. If you give me 1 second, I will have it. The first
Wait, are you going into the draft guide from previous years that you should become a diehard again?
He didn't do wingspan at the combine, actually. We only did our
Well, all right. That's the big thing. Let me see real quick. Jalen Carter, he had a 81-inch wingspan, which is above average for defensive tackles drafted in the last 10 years. 33.5-inch arms, above average for defensive tackles drafted in the last 10 years.
Why is he so good at it?
I mean, because he's so explosive and powerful off the ball. You get that initial penetration, and it's a game of inches at that point. That's a whole big part of it. Are you able to get that initial penetration inside? That's the shortest path of the ball.
Can you recall an Eagle that's been a better kick blocker than him? 'Cause I can't off the top of my head.
Yeah, off the top of my head, no, I don't think so. I mean, he's gotten his hands on how many balls the last couple of years?
I mean, they blocked really one against the Bills at the link 2 years ago or last year. He did it against the Rams earlier this year.
It's
unbelievable.
He's a great player. So, great to see. Like, all right, he's back out in the field. He looks healthy. That will be important for this team in the stretch run. We saw what he did in the playoffs last year. Like, they don't go to the Super Bowl without him against the Rams in that divisional round a year ago.
All right, Fran. We will get much more from you on tomorrow's PHLY Eagles show at 2 o'clock. We'll bring in the snappies and all that good stuff. We look forward to hearing what you learn. What are you most looking forward to seeing when you turn on the All-22?
The defense. I'm excited to watch the defense. That'll be first thing. And I would imagine I'm gonna try and keep my keep the analysis, keep the screen grabs to the defense tomorrow. So we'll see. We'll see how it goes.
All right. Thank you very much, Fran, for spending the time with us. We'll see you tomorrow. For now, we take a quick break on the PHLY Eagles postgame show. On the other side, Vinny gives us his beef of the week. Shop best sellers at Ashley, where no matter what your holiday traditions are, you're always at home. Whether you're making extra room with the extendable dining tables so your family can make something delicious together, or creating a cozy space by rearranging their modular seating with the Alyssa Court Performance Fabric Sectional, Ashley's is the place to go. Their selection of adaptable furniture is here to help carry on your treasured traditions year after year. So shop holiday deals and make lifelong memories with Ashley.
Philly sports fans, listen up. It's the giving seasons, the holiday season still. And it's not too late to give someone that truly unforgettable piece of art this winter. Look, right over there, that Saquon print. He's got Kelsey prints and BG prints. Whatever it is for the sports fan in your life, you got to check out local artist Jordan Spector at SpectorSportsArt.com. I personally own one. Enhance that man cave big time. And trust me, these are the perfect gift for that sports sicko in your life. His collections come in prints, canvases, and even athlete-partnered trading cards. And get this, one of the newest cards actually has BG's real game-worn jersey from the game in New Orleans, cut up and in it. If you've got a diehard sports fan in your life or you want to treat yourself, this is the kind of gift they're going to talk about forever. So head over to SpectorSportsArt.com. That's SpectorSportsArt.com and grab something epic for that sports fan in your life.
Shop best sellers at Ashley, where no matter what your holiday traditions are, you're always at home. Whether you're making extra room with the extendable dining tables so your family can make something delicious together, or creating a cozy space by rearranging their modular seating with the Alyssa Court Performance Fabric Sectional, Ashley's is the place to go. Their selection of adaptable furniture is here to help carry on your treasured traditions year after year. So shop holiday deals and make lifelong memories with Ashley. Back on the PHLY Eagles podcast, and we're going to call a little bit of an audible. Just like Jalen Hurts changing the play at the line to get spring Saquon Barkley for a nice run.
You excited as I am?
Uh-oh.
See this hat?
I'm going to see this hat. Yes, instead of going to the beat for the week, we're going to go to Buffalo to bring in our Eagles insider, E.J. Smith, who is ready to go. As far as he's not ready to go. He says he's ready to go. What a bad job by that guy. We're going to have to crush him. We're changing the show around on the fly to go to him first because it's bad weather out there and he doesn't want to be on the field. And then he's not even ready?
Jeez.
Unbelievable. So maybe instead, Lindsay, we can go to the Ace Hardware Home Services temperature check and talk about EJ letting us down and really being cold. But I mean, listen, I cannot, the defense is heating up to a degree that you need to call Ace Hardware Home Services to check the furnace because it's going to overheat. They've been so good.
I saw an Ace Hardware Home Services truck in my neighborhood on Christmas Eve. Those people were out there grinding.
They've got your back.
Yeah.
They bring helpful home to you.
Yeah. I love Ace Hardware.
If you could have Ace Hardware Home Services fix one thing about the Eagles, what would it be?
The coward's draw on every situation where you just don't want to see it. 3rd and longs.
Yes.
Mine would be fix the injuries to our offensive line, please.
That's a good one. I was going to say dislodge the head from the rectum when it comes to play calling at the end of a first half.
Yeah, that's definitely your main peeve with them.
Yeah.
But it's
Hopefully
kind
they
of
can help
reflective of their cowardice
I agree.
play calling in general at times.
All right. Shout out to our friends at Ace Hardware Home Services, the place that you need to go or have come to you when you got something wrong with your house. Thank you to Ace Hardware Home Services. And now we will dial up the Xfinity mobile call-in line and bring in our Eagles insider, E.J. Smith.
Oh, you got the Jalen. You got the hole. Okay.
Whoa, look at that. Rocking the Kangol.
I told you guys I had a cool hat. This was a Christmas gift from my dad.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah.
Did you wear it in the locker room?
EJ, you need some Kazals with that. You never see the
I didn't wear it in the
glasses?
locker room.
Because Jalen Hurts would probably admire that hat.
Yeah, that's why I figured it'd be a little bit too like
Show him up.
Yeah, it'd be I thought it would be like, look at me in my Kangol, Jalen. So I kept it off for the locker room. Yeah.
No, I think you're right. I think Jamie's right. It would have made Jalen feel worse to not be
He had
the
the
best
beret
looking
on
guy in a
today.
Kangol.
Yeah, no, he had the beret on today, so it would have been same. But another instance of my dad and Jalen Hurts having the same.
And it
wardrobe.
matches your jacket too. This is fantastic.
Yeah, no, my dad did good. Christmas came. He came correct for Christmas.
Shout out to Pops.
You're famous. You're famous, father. All right, EJ.
Yeah.
Let's start with the most important. Well, you know what? Let's first throw to EJ's notebook. Why don't you tell us that?
All right. So first and foremost, we walk into the Eagles locker room and we hear "Tell me something good" playing through the Bluetooth speakers in there, and I think that was really the main theme that we got from Nick Sirianni and Jalen Hurts. I saw Nick Sirianni and Jalen Hurts have like an extended conversation in the locker room after Nick Sirianni's press conference, and I overheard Jalen Hurts say, "A win is a win" at the end of that conversation with Nick. So I think the sentiment from both Nick and Jalen was that, you know, they obviously maybe didn't play the way that they wanted to in the second half of this game offensively, but to come in here and beat a good Bills team on the road, I think that they are, you know, the way that Nick said is that they're going to give themselves points for the wins. Next, I mean, Jalen Carter, they changed the game, right? You know, his blocked PAT, BG after the game said that, Jalen Carter is a game changer, and those are the types of plays that he can make for the team. And, you know, Nick said that it really is a testament to how relentless he is, that he brings that energy to special teams as well. He's obviously got 3 block kicks this season, and I think that really is a testament to, like, with Jalen Carter, it feels like he has his moments where he picks his spot and it's like, I'm just going to make a play in this one. And I think you saw that there. I thought it was also noteworthy that Jalen Carter mentioned that his shoulders felt a lot better. He said that the shots that he got a couple of weeks ago definitely did what they were supposed to do. And then last, I think this is maybe a pencils down situation for the Eagles offense. You know, there was a lot of talk about whether or not that group has confidence going into the postseason if the Eagles are to rest their starters in Week 18 against the Commanders, which definitely sounds like a real possibility. So, I think that's something we can unpack here. The fact that this Eagles offense might be the last time we see them before the postseason, and kind of what the confidence rating is going into the playoffs if that is the case.
What do you mean by pencils down?
I mean, I think that this is probably the last chance that they had to get this right before the postseason. You know, I think, Daniz has talked a lot about makeup tests, and I think if they came out and played really well in this game, it kind of would have felt like a makeup test. And I mean, pencils down in that way. Like they're not going to be able to work on this anymore, in my opinion. I would expect to see. I mean, we'll see, but the way that Nick's talked about it, it wouldn't surprise me if they rested the starters in the regular season finale. And if they do that, I think that this is kind of the Eagles offense is where it is.
Okay. So from the offense's perspective, because we'll get to the defense and we'll get to Jalen Carter and all of that stuff. Was there anything beyond a win is a win? Did you feel like there were things that they were trying to do that they were unable to do? Was it purely sort of blaming the conditions or the play calling? What was your read on that?
Yeah, no, Nick Sirianni talked about how in the second half of the game, he felt like they didn't get to some things that they needed to offensively, and he took accountability for that, which I found interesting. I felt like listening to him talk, it seemed like he was alluding to play action. I felt like they didn't get enough they didn't get to enough of their play action looks in the second half. And Jalen Hurts mentioned after the game that the Bills called a lot more man coverage in the second half, and it was something that they didn't adjust to as well as they would have wanted. So that's my read on what happened offensively and what they, kind of what they wish that they could have handled better in that second half. But I also think it's fair to say that, we've seen the Eagles offense be conservative at times this season with leads, especially against good teams, with a prioritization of avoiding turnovers. And I think, when you look at the run pass split, the fact that they only had 6 passing attempts in the second half, I do think that there's a chance that they were leaning into avoiding mistakes for most of that second half. And it kind of came back to bite them, put them in a bad position at the end of the game.
Yeah, I mean, listen, a 3 and out is not that different than a turnover, right? Like,
yes,
and it's an extended turnover.
And they put the defense in such a horrible position to have them be on the field as much as they had to be in this game. Credit to them for making the play when it mattered to win the game. But yeah, it's not like just punting the ball away every possession is doing anybody any favors.
Yeah.
And I'm sure
especially with how frequent the 3 and outs are. I think you saw how that impacted the Eagles defense. It's funny, Jordan Mailata said that on that 2-point conversion, he noticed that, when they called the timeout, that the Eagles defense seemed like they were in better condition than than the Bills offense. He said he saw a couple of Bills offensive players on all fours or hands on their knees trying to catch their breath. And he said that he thought that was a testament to how well conditioned the Eagles defense is. And in the back of my head, I'm thinking like, well, the Eagles defense is well conditioned because they've been put in this position so often all season.
Yeah.
They've played so many plays and they've had to, the offense has really relied on them. It's kind of like they don't have a choice, right? So I thought that it was telling. I do think there's merit to it that the Eagles defense showed up, in that final play and that they were able to get to the quarterback and everything else. But I also think it is kind of telling about where this team is at. In general, I felt like this game was a perfect snapshot of like what the Eagles have been this season. A dominant defense that can win despite offensive, stagnant periods. And I think, we really saw that on display. And really, even we saw like how thin the margins of victory can be when you play that way.
All right, let's celebrate the defense because boy, were they awesome in this game. But let's actually start with the special teams thing because you have a nugget from Jalen Carter on the huge block on the extra point.
Yeah, no, he said that ties back to film study. He said that him and like Michael Clay will go over things during the week, and I think that it is just like remarkable that he's a guy who doesn't really have to be giving it his all on special teams necessarily, but definitely seems like he takes a lot of pride in studying things throughout the week. Is that the nugget you're talking about? I know I sent you my notes.
Yes.
Okay, just making sure.
Yeah. Is that okay?
No, I had a better Jalen Carter nugget. That's why I was.
Okay. What's your better Jalen Carter nugget?
I don't think this one was in my notes. It might have been in my notes. I asked Jalen Carter. I said, like, well, when did you realize? Because he said his shoulders felt so much better than he expected. And I said, when did you realize that you had, your strength back in your shoulders? Like, was it during practice or was it in the game? Like, is it, only when you get into a game that you feel that type of thing? And he said it was actually when he was pushing the sled during practice during the week because Clint Hurt was on the sled and he caught himself. He's like, I don't know if we're in overtime. I'll also catch myself. He's like, that's a big nut. He's like, that's a big guy right there.
Yeah.
So, no, I thought that was probably the best nugget from Jalen Carter was that it was pushing a sled with Clint Hurt that he finally realized his shoulders were going to, not be the limiting factor for him. You add into this defense and it really is, it was probably already a Super Bowl defense, but I think that they can win these games, high-stakes games against elite offenses, if you have Jalen Carter at the center of what has already been a really dominant defense.
Yeah, well said. Anything else that jumped out to you from the defensive performance watching it live?
Yeah, I would say just generally how much havoc the front seven can wreak. Especially even against the run. Like, this is a good Bills rushing offense. We talked about it before the game, how we felt like, each of these run games are going to be really instructive and important on how this game would go. And, I just feel like I don't know. At least with this Eagles front seven right now, I feel like this is as good as last year's group was. I know that, we don't like to, last year's group is kind of sacred. BG talked about this after the game that, they have to win something to really enter that conversation. But just in terms of like dominance, controlling games, I do think that this group is as good as last year's group. I think, they just have so many guys. I mean, this felt like the Ravens game from last year where it was just like, man, this defense just can out physical even offenses that hang their hat on physicality, even in, tough conditions on the road against an elite rushing the offense, they can still come out here and just control the line of scrimmage and control the game. So that's really what jumped out to me. I know it wasn't the cleanest Quinyon game. I don't know. I think he's kind of earned the equity there where you don't have too much concern off of that. I mean, it's a good Bills offense. And I think that, again, the fact that the defensive front really just controlled things really stood out to me.
Since week 13, they have 20 sacks, which leads the NFL in that period of time.
That's a good nugget.
When did BG get back?
Probably
around that.
Let's get it!
Now, EJ, if they had lost this game, there's no doubt that the first thing that everybody would have been talking about was Cam Latu's boner. So, how do you
tough day for the brand.
Speak for the Latu truthers? How do you defend such a potentially game-deciding mistake?
I mean, I never said that Cam Latu needed a bigger role on special teams. I actually think this comes down to Nick Sirianni not giving him a bigger role on the offense. Shouldn't be out there on special teams. Like, you have a heat-seeking missile. You need him on offense.
Jalen Carter's playing special teams. Do you think Cam Latu's too good for it?
Yeah, no, Cam Latu, you have a superstar playing on special teams. I mean, he's got his hands. He plays two different spots on the offense. He's busy. He can't be focusing on the rules of the special teams. And the other thing, if you guys aren't going to be texting me when he's making plays on the kickoff unit or any of the other unit, he has some good blocks out there. If you're not going to be texting me for that, I don't want to hear from you when he makes this mistake. Come on, what are we doing? Keep that same energy.
Unbelievable. What is he doing touching that ball?
You know what it was? You know how like sometimes it's like you'll talk about like the apex predator and they'll be like, he's hunting for sport. You got to keep it interesting for him. Maybe that was what Cam Latu was doing for the Eagles defense. Maybe it was like, if they get this, we back them up. Too easy. It's too boring. Yeah, it's too easy. We got to keep it interesting. You got to make sure that they're up for it, up for the challenge.
All right, good stuff, EJ. Anything else?
I'm a better defense attorney than you.
That's not true. I won.
You would have been like, look at this buffoon.
No, you lost the case. Cam Latu should probably, if we follow Fran's Xavier Gibson thoughts from earlier this season, be released. But I'll give him a stay of execution for now. But you lost the case.
The neck roll is a nice development. I like the neck roll. I like it. This whole experience has been great. Good football weather, great stadium. The fullback's got a neck roll. This is what football is supposed to be.
Yeah.
And we're not supposed to be playing it in some fancy spaceship-looking dome where the weather conditions are perfect and there's no fullbacks and everybody's coming out in 11 personnel and spreading them out. No, this was my type of game.
Okay. Any other final nuggets to pass along?
Here, let me quick take a scan because I took a bunch of notes. I couldn't use my notebook because of my hand being all messed up.
Is Nick Sirianni still yelling in the tunnels?
No, he wasn't yelling in the tunnels. He was you know what? He came into his press conference and he said, "I told you guys the sun doesn't shine here." Which, I mean, he was talking about the conditions, but I thought that was actually like kind of dual meaning. I didn't I don't think he meant it dual meaning, but I did think listen, I'll probably make it into my story. I thought it was nice symbolism for the way the defense played.
Okay. Good stuff, EJ. What are you going to be writing about that people can read on allphly.com if they become a diehard?
I'm going to be writing about Jalen Carter coming back into this defense and what it means for the postseason. And really that I think this is the formula. We've talked about it for the last couple of weeks. I know that the games against the Raiders and the Commanders maybe changed some people's minds, but I think that this is what this group is. I think that they are going to be defense first. They're going to bully their way bully their way through games, and they are good enough defensively to do that even against great offenses. So it's going to be an interesting postseason run. I think this is probably the last time we see this Eagles team at full strength before the postseason. So I'm going to be writing about how Carter kind of reinforces the way that I think a lot of people felt about this team.
Awesome. Well, thank you very much, EJ. Make sure that you become a diehard so you can read EJ's work. EJ, we'll see you on the 2 o'clock Eagles show tomorrow.
Yep. Yeah. I'll see you guys then.
All right, E.
See you,
Happy
Jay.
holidays to you.
And by the way, since we're talking about diehards, by the way, if you want to really be a member of the PHLY community, if you're a Flyers fan, big opportunity on January 6th to go to the sweet takeover at the Wells Fargo Center. Join the great Bill Matz. Charlie's going to be there. I mean, what a better opportunity do you have to have an awesome time watching the Fly Guys? January 6th. Check that out.
Food and drink included in the price. If you're a diehard, you get a little discount on that. So hop in there and make it happen.
Here we go. And with that, we send you to break. Our last break. On the other side, we'll run down some snap counts. We'll finally do Vinny's Beef of the Week.
And I got
Get the rest of your super chats.
some numbers on Nick Sirianni from John Ganud from the Eagles. That is, it's eye-popping.
There you go. All of that on the other side here on the PHLY Eagles postgame show. The new year is approaching, and so here's what we want you to do. Make 2026, whatever you want to call it, make it the year that you rewrite your story, own your future, and make your entrepreneurial dreams come true. And you can help make that dream come true by starting your business with Shopify in 2026 and become the person that you're meant to be. With Shopify, you get all the tools you need. Marketing is built in too. You can create email and social campaigns that reach customers wherever they scroll. And as you grow, Shopify grows with you. So in 2026, stop waiting and start selling with Shopify. Cha-ching! Sign up for $1 per month trial and start selling today at shopify.com/allcity. Go to shopify.com/allcity. That's shopify.com/allcity. Hear your first cha-ching this new year with Shopify by your side.
Elkins Chevrolet, you gotta get to it. It's run by three brothers, real brothers, huge Birds fans. And this holiday season and New Year, they're making sure that you get a deal that will feel just as good as that Birds victory. They've got a huge inventory of Chevy trucks and SUVs, and there's no better time to grab one than right now because the price isn't going to last. Whether it's getting to the game, to work, or hitting the holiday road this winter, you're going to roll into 2026 in the perfect ride at the perfect price. Elkins Chevrolet, real brothers, real deals, and a whole lot of honking good service. Elkins Chevrolet, right there on Route 73 South in Marlton, New Jersey, a pillar of the community. You can't miss them. So shop now for that perfect ride at the perfect price at elkinchevrolet.com. Together, let's ride.
Back on the PHLY Eagles post-game show, and it's time now for the Beef of the Week presented by Righteous Felon, Vinny Curry. Too big. I mean, you could go
This is a tough
couple places. Feels like to me, really between two people. Jalyx Hunt, 2 sacks. Jalen Carter, a monster sack and a block on the extra
game-winning
point.
play.
Where are you going to go? Tough call.
I'm going to go Jalen Carter. You know,
Okay.
He's been out, he makes the Pro Bowl this week, comes back from injury, and dominates the game and gets the defensive line going. Dominates the game, which create opportunities for everybody else, you know, to rush. So, Jalen Carter, congratulations. You are my beef for the week.
Vinny, what impresses you the most about Jalen Carter just as a defensive tackle?
Bro, he competitive. Very competitive. You could just tell, like, I feel like he's pissed off even when he's laughing and smiling at you.
Yeah, he always looks pissed.
Yo, did you see towards the end of the game? What was that? The touchdown. They go to the quarterback sneak the touchdown. He's smiling and laughing at the ref. Ref go play like kind of like to tell the ref like, don't touch me. But I'm dead serious. Whatever he was telling
Yeah.
I was nervous for the ref from the couch. Ref, you better leave that man alone. You know, but he's very impressive, man. Like the biggest thing I said, man, he's very competitive, and to come back off injury and have this type of performance against, you know, a well offensive line and one of the best quarterbacks in the league. Can't ask for more than that.
There you go.
What's
Makes a
Jalyx
big
Hunt,
difference.
What's Jalyx Hunt's ceiling? Can this guy be?
You know what's crazy?
Because he's popping.
It's the 58. The 50, with the 58.
Yeah, I mean, he does
see
kind of
some
look. He
flashes.
does kind of look like Trent
I
sometimes.
see some flash. I'm not gonna say nothing. I ain't say nothing. Not gonna say nothing. Not gonna say too much. But every week, the man just flashed, bro, and I'm loving it. I'm loving it. I'm loving it. I'm loving his journey. I'm loving his story.
Yeah.
I'm happy for him and the way he's balling.
He's so far ahead of schedule,
Yeah.
It's insane.
given the way that the expectations were for him.
He's
3rd round pick from
former safety.
Houston Christian.
He's
It's
probably
like, this is an investment we are making. No.
better-
This is a guy who is ready to go right now.
He's probably better than Nolan Smith.
He's having a better year than Nolan Smith.
I'm not going to answer that conversation.
Yeah.
I like them both.
Yeah. Nolan's, it's not a
But
knock
it
on
goes
Nolan
to show
Smith.
you what the organization thought of him, believed in him to let Josh go.
Yes.
Yes.
Is Vic? This was a guy that Vic pounded the table
That's
for.
what the reports are. Yeah.
How much credit does Vic get in his development? No, obviously the player gets the
I don't know
majority
that it's
of.
Vic in the development as more as like the talent identification, right? Because the development is more about Jeremiah Washburn and him himself and the strength staff and stuff
Sure.
like that. But
And the knowledge from Brandon Graham.
right, guys like that. But I think seeing that he had the tools that's.
I mean,
maybe
Zack
that's a big
Baun
thing.
and Jalyx Hunt right now.
Yeah, exactly.
Vic identified and said, "Give me that." And both these guys, I mean, Zack Baun, you can't do
Yeah.
much better than that. That's
Yeah.
a home run signing. And Jalyx Hunt could be,
Been fantastic.
yeah.
Listen, that's the thing and the beauty of being an OG in this game. And having such a high resume. Who's going to argue with the resume that Vic has
Yes.
done with his career? And you see something that reminds you of something. You know what I'm saying? So, man, continue the ball, man. And listen. Nolan Smith is a playoff guy. Let's not forget about that.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
He is a violent player.
When you know what I'm saying? And when the playoffs come, he show up.
And he was close a couple times today, too, on some plays.
I'll give you the defensive snap counts here. 73 snaps for the defense, according to True Media.
Oh, wow.
All of them by Zack Baun, Marcus Epps, Reed Blankenship, Cooper DeJean, and Quinyon Mitchell. 68 for Jihaad Campbell. So that was the 5 snaps. We saw that 5-1-5 nickel defense. 63 for Jalen Phillips, which is a lot for him. 63 of 73. 56 for Adoree Jackson. 55 for Jalen Carter. 48 for Nolan Smith. 47 for Jordan Davis. 42 for Moro Ojimo. 35 for Jalyx Hunt. So Nolan Smith played 13 more snaps than Jalyx Hunt. 17 for Byron Young and 7 for Brandon Grant.
Wait, what was the Jordan Davis count?
Jordan Davis was at 47. So the defensive tackles was 55 for Jalen Carter, 47 for Jordan Davis, 42 for Moro Ojimo, and 17 for Byron Young.
It didn't feel like it, but
Yeah.
I guess they really pretty shut the run game down. So I'm going to take the 47. But
Yeah.
quiet
Yes.
47.
Bears-Niners tied at 14 still in the first quarter.
I just got a
Lot of
text
action
that says, Williams has such an incredible arm. Very Mahomes-like from a buddy.
There you go. Okay, some super chats before we close things out here. We're racking them up. We appreciate all the support on the
Keep
super
'em
chats.
coming.
Make sure that you also are liking the video and subscribing to the channel. We start with Tokagawa. They're going to pull out the dagger. Oh, no, we already got this one, right? Yes. Alex Medina. This offensive line is a bunch of pumpkins. Brandon Ekstrom. Also, it makes it so much worse that this past 2 years has been the best defense I've ever watched among many good ones. I was shocked the Birds were still playing to score with under 2 minutes left in the second quarter. Even that was not a well-orchestrated final drive of the first half. Jeff Pezze says, lack of design runs for Jalen against the Bills' run defense, which was 29th in the league, is incomprehensible. I would zag there only in the sense of you're now 2 weeks away from the playoffs. You're playing in tough conditions. I don't know that this was the week you needed to invite more hits on Jalen Hurts.
Yeah, that's fair.
Especially given that it's already a bad run defense. you would have thought that this was a time you could just lean on the running backs. Now, it says more about the state of the Eagles' running game that they weren't able to do that against a bad running defense. But I don't know that this was the week to do Jalen. D&B Mix. Shame on me for thinking the first half offensive execution would carry over into the second half against a competent team. It is unfortunate that we have seen this story several times this season where a very good first half has kind of just piffled out in the second half. Lion Word with a nice, generous donation super chat. We appreciate that. Thank you, Lion Word. Matt Webster. Jalen Carter blocks extra point. Without it, we lose. So maybe that's why you get the beef of the week.
Beef of the week. Wow.
Zane Petney. KP and Sirianni can't be calling conservative in the playoffs. Otherwise, we lose. Even if the Eagles win the Super Bowl, I would fire Sirianni and Kevin Patullo in the offseason. Tough standards.
If the Eagles win the Super Bowl, Sirianni got to be the best coach in Eagles history.
It's a good softball to lob in Jamie's direction.
John Ganud from the Eagles just tweeted out only 5 head coaches in NFL history own a 700-plus career winning percentage per Elias with a minimum of 50 games. Guy Chamberlain in the 20s is first. John Madden, 759, second. Vince Lombardi, third. George Allen, fourth. Nick Sirianni, fifth, with a 702 win percentage.
Yo, if Nick Sirianni come out with his own 2K game,
I like that. Yeah.
crazy.
I mean, that's wild company.
Yeah, look at the list.
Those are the titans of like NFL coaching.
Yeah. His record is unbelievable.
Unbelievable.
Dinkelberg. Jalyx Hunt has turned into a rock-solid edge rusher for the Eagles. Conversely, when are we going to point out that the Eagles traded a third for Jalen Phillips, who has just 1 sack with the Eagles?
He still get acclimated.
I also think that the sack underscores his impact. I do think that he is making an impact beyond that. But I also do think it's fair to say that you expected a little bit more sack production. That's fine. He's playing a bunch of snaps. But I do not think the Eagles regret that deal in any way.
No.
No, I don't. Yeah, no.
Especially if they lead the NFL in sacks since week 13.
Right.
What's the trade deadline? Week 12?
I think that's right.
Something right around that. So like
10 maybe? Yeah.
It's a team game, you know.
Braden Ekstrom. I think I could get more characters per money with cheaper super chats. Most of my super chats fall in the $3.50 range, and that's not an option. # fire Nick. I like that. Sean Wolford. Sick of talking about the offense. Since the bye week, best player been out or left games early. He's back soon. Pave the lane. Repeat coming. All right, I like that. A little belief in lane.
I hope he.
Drew, you should have did that one of your voices.
I should have. Next
Pave the lane.
Joseph Lynch. A limerick. The Birds' D-line rushed through the rain. Josh Allen was feeling some pain. The defense was clutch. The O, not so much. But they won, and the champs can still reign.
Beautiful.
It was nice. More limericks, please. Tim Burgoyne. The offense is choosing to play this way. History shows they are less risk-averse in the playoffs, so I expect them to perform when it matters most. Good faith?
There's a little element of Jalen, stepping up big in the playoffs.
Yes, no doubt about it.
Yeah.
Fresh Prince. Josh missed the throw to Shakir on the 2-point conversion. According to WIP, Jalen Hurts is the only quarterback who misses throws to open wide receivers.
Yo, come on, man.
I mean, listen, I do think that, there is truth to this thought from Eagles fans that the narrative, like, if Jalen Hurts had the game that Josh Allen had,
he'd be getting
it would be a
roasted.
much different conversation. And that is true.
A 20-yard sack in a play where the game could have been decided.
Well, that's national media as well.
Yeah.
Across the
No
board.
doubt about it. No doubt about it. Devin Stepp. I don't expect perfection. I expect not dong water. Do you think he meant bong water?
No, I think he
true
meant dong water.
Yeah.
Which is, I think I'd rather drink bong water.
I'd say so. Vafka. Have we talked about the Tyler Steen snap telegraph? Why look at Hurts before the snap? I'm just confused. Can you explain that, Vinny?
He does turn his head a
I'm not
lot.
gonna, no, well, Jalen's out there doing this hard count thing, and he's just looking back at him. You can't snap the ball until he's the indicator, so nobody's ever going to jump. I was thinking that to myself.
That's true.
When we was on the live chat, so if I was like,
that's a good point.
that was crazy.
That should be the tell for the that's what they should use as the
I'm pretty sure that's what Buffalo tried to use, but
right. No, they're not going to fall. You're right. They're not going to fall for it if Tyler Steen hasn't done his thing yet.
it's crazy.
That's true. Why do they use that?
It's loud.
Yeah.
It's loud. Most likely, you can't hear the cadence, so he's looking at him, so you know it's to go, so he's tapping him like, yo, man, snap the ball. Things like that. When it's loud. Listen, Buffalo's a loud stadium.
Okay. Kelly, longtime listener, first time super chatter, watching all the way from Seattle. Not a pretty win, but a win is a win. Go Birds! Thank you, Kelly.
Kelly.
Michael Kurtz. I get why fans blame the coaches. Easier to replace. But when Saquon is getting smoked 3 yards behind the line, it's not the coaches. Draft O-line. I think it's fair. To say that the offensive line did not have a great game.
Listen, I love the O-line, but I think it's time.
Oh, they need some help there.
We need
I
to
agree
find
with that.
another lane, Someone
Easier
that
said
Lane
than
could
done.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I mean, like, Lane's hard, to replace, but it'd be cool to watch him groom somebody the way JP helped him, playing the forward.
Yes.
So I think that would be pretty cool.
T-Cobb. Shout out to Jalen's mental against the momentum. Okay. Like that. And then Dickelberg. I stand corrected regarding my previous super chat. Phillips now has 2 sacks. I still feel underwhelmed. Unrelated. Jamie's moo is elite.
Thank you, Dickelberg.
Cow emoji. It's a very good moo.
Thank you. I also have a failed super chat from my buddy Dan Duffy. He said, I paid $20, but I'm so old. I'm a supporters club member, but I screwed this up. He said, the question I wanted to get across is, who of the Packers, Rams, and Seattle wants to play us? I mean, if you're an elite offense and you're looking at Vic in this defense right now, I know there's offensive woes, but do you really want to face this defense?
No, I don't think any of those teams wants to play the Eagles.
Yeah,
I do think if the question is who most wants the Eagles, it's the Rams. I think
the Rams.
McVay wants to slay the Fangio Dragon. They can make up for the loss last year and this year. I think they are the one who would welcome that matchup.
They do kind of own them. Dating back to Doug P.
Yes.
And Nick Sirianni, they just have Sean McVay's number. That does make me feel a little confident heading into that.
Yes. Okay.
And if I feel that like an idiot sitting here, I wonder what the guys in the locker room feel. Vinny, you had to feel like there's certain times where you just had a team's number, right? Didn't matter if you're having a down year.
We've been on both sides of that. Both sides of the stick.
It's a real thing.
We felt like we had a team number, but it's also we felt like, God damn, the craziest things happen when we play this team. We'll be beating this one specific team, and the craziest thing happened. You'd be pissed off. Bo, can you guess the team?
Cowboys?
They're definitely in the playoffs right now, and they definitely having a great season right now as well.
Seattle.
Yep.
Yeah, you guys have, yes.
God,
yes.
we'll be beating them.
Yes.
Next thing you know, we losing 6, 7, 9, 8. Crazy.
6, 7.
Hey, I know Pepper's watching. I know the Chloe's probably saying, hey, 6, 7.
All the cousins at Christmas.
But it was crazy. Every time we played them.
That's right.
We played them. We had them beat in the playoffs.
Yeah.
And next thing you know, Carson got knocked out. What?
Yeah.
And it went downhill.
That one linebacker, Tutupu, had 3 interceptions that one game.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Yes.
People that you never even heard of. Like what the? Then we blocked the field goal, right? Remember we blocked the kick, and then it was like, okay, here we go. The very next drive, we drive. And then we got by the red zone and got knocked out the game. You can't make this up. Damn it, man. Yeah.
Okay, that makes sense.
I think they're 4-8 in Seattle. The Eagles.
Okay.
So
yeah, that is a team that has had their bugaboo. I think it's also one of the it's like 2 teams that Sirianni hasn't beaten, something like that. Yeah, there you go. All right, let's close this out. Final thoughts, Vinny. Having watched the game today, how do you feel about the Eagles heading into the playoffs? What are your expectations?
We ready. And, this is what we all been waiting for. From the highs, the lows, we all been waiting for this moment right here. Hopefully, everything plays out in our favor. For next week to rest them guys, try to get some guys back, and I'm expecting these guys to get back to the dance, man. So,
okay, there it is. Jamie, how about you?
All in on my chips.
I feel
We bring the boom. We bring the boom to you.
it's chicken bakes all around. I'm feeling pretty good about their chances. This defense is elite. Maybe one of the best Eagles defenses I've seen in my life. I think they can potentially beat anyone.
Absolutely.
With just them.
I don't think it's just that is what makes the offense so maddening. Is like just get out of the way a little bit.
Yeah.
Just give the defense a little bit of a breather. Do something. Against a Bills defense, it's not very good.
No, you should have been able to get yards on the ground in the second half. The fact that they weren't able to was infuriating. But I really like them versus anybody in the NFC right now. Is it going to be pretty? Probably not. But they show you they have a propensity to win a lot of football games. And this defense is badass. And Jalen Hurts plays great football on big stages. And there's still a ton of talent in there. And Lane Johnson's coming back. There's a lot to like about this team heading into the playoffs. Bring it on. Matthew Stafford, Sam Darnold, Brock Purdy. Who gives a damn?
Go ahead. You want to? I see you. You want to?
I
know you want to cut a promo.
Promo mine.
Cut a promo.
Yeah, I'm about to.
I see it.
Bro, how did you? Bro, how did you know?
I see this. I see it. I know that's Macho Man. I see you doing it. Cream rises to the top.
Yo, bro, you funny. Yo, I definitely was about to do that.
She covered.
Yo, I definitely was about to do that. Oh man. Week 18. Oh,
Tanner
man.
McKee.
Yeah.
Vinny, you'll be happy to know one of my nephews got the WrestleMania. Remember the dolls? Those are back now.
Yeah, the
Like the
wrestling
buddies?
Yeah, the wrestling buddies.
Oh,
He got an Ultimate
Yeah.
Warrior and a Hulk.
Oh,
Those are the ones
like,
I used to have.
classic,
Yeah.
classics,
Yeah.
classics.
That was pretty cool.
Yo, boy.
Do you want to weigh in on the Nikki Bella rumors?
Your worlds are colliding.
I will say, Coupe de Jean. The Bella Slayer.
Speaking of cream. All right,
Oh,
CDP with the super chat and under the wire. Should the Eagles trade A.J. Brown for Armand Membu? Deadline is passed, I'm afraid. All right.
You know what they say? Old chickens make good soup.
That'll do it for the PHLY Eagles post-game show. A thriller for the Eagles, 13-12 over the Buffalo Bills. Now waiting to hope that the Bears lose tonight. If not, the Eagles will be locked into the three seed. Probably rest people in Week 18. And, of course, we will have you covered all week on PHLY. We've got the Eagles show returning at 2 o'clock tomorrow. Fran Duffy breaking down the snaps. Brandon Graham Unblocked returns this week. We've got shows Tuesday, Friday, and, of course, covering you for the post-game show next week. We wish everybody a happy new year. We'll talk to you later. And, as always, we love you.
Yeah, birds.
We all silly like the mayor.